Hey, what's up, guys? Master19 here. I'm going to be talking about UFC 5. Not much is known about it, but I'm going to be talking about 10 fighters that I want to see make the roster. Here we go. Number 10 is Mirko Cop. I don't know why he's not in UFC 4 because he was in 3. He's a legend. He has wins over Roy Nelson, Vanderlei Silva, Mark Coleman, and many other big names. He has phenomenal kicks. That's why they say right leg hospital, left leg cemetery. That guy's a badass. I hope he's in UFC 5. Anyway, that's my number 10. My number 9 is Joe Diesel Riggs. To my knowledge, he wasn't in any UFC games, which is bullshit in my opinion. Anyway, he has wins over names like my favorite Nick Diaz, Herb Dean, Yes the Ref, Shane Johnson, and there are many other victims on his list. He was also a former heavyweight in the UFC that turned welterweight, which is crazy. He likely won't be in UFC 5 though because he is currently signed to BKFC, but hopefully they put him in. Anyways, he's my number 9. My number 8 is Paul Daley. He's probably most known for fighting over in Strikeforce, but he fought in UFC, Bellator, and many other companies. He fought guys like Rory MacDonald, Tyron Woodley, Jorge Masvidal, the list goes on. Although he didn't always win, he always was still a hell of a boxer, and he had some entertaining fights. I recommend the Nick Diaz fight, even though he doesn't win it. I don't think he'll be in UFC 5 because of punching Koscheck after the bell during their fight, but I can hope. Anyway, Daley's my number 8. My number 7, speaking of Koscheck, it's Josh Koscheck. He's a cocky wrestler with decent striking. He's a really good fighter in my opinion, and I think he's a pretty funny guy too, sometimes unintentionally, like when he fakes getting illegally kneed and sells it like he got killed. Other than him faking fouls like that, he's a really good fighter. He has wins over guys like Frank Trigg, Anthony Johnson, Matt Hughes, and more. In my opinion, he's a really underrated fighter. Anyways, he's my number 7. My number 6 is Frank Mir. He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Kempo. He has wins over guys like Brock Lesnar, Roy Nelson, Czech Congo, and others. He has 9 wins by submission, and that's crazy for a heavyweight. Frank Mir should have been in UFC 4, but he wasn't. Hopefully they put him in 5. He's really important to the history of MMA, in my opinion. My number 5 is Big Country Roy Nelson. He was a fucking heavy hitter. He has 23 wins, 15 of them by KO/TKO. He knocked out guys like Brendan Schaub, Stefan Struve, Matt Mitrione, and he did all that being fat. I like seeing that because I'm fat too, and it shows that you could still whoop ass being a fat guy. I respect that. Anyway, Roy was more than just a fat guy. He was a 6 foot tall, 249-pound machine with a good chin, deceptively good cardio, and good wrestling, and a sledgehammer of a right hand. He's a legend and should be remembered as a heavy-hitting badass. Hopefully they put him in UFC 5. Maybe you'll have a reason to play the heavyweight division then. My number 4 is Tommy the Duke Morrison. No, I know what you're going to say. He's a boxer. Yeah, so are Mike Tyson and Tyson Fury. They still put them in. Tommy Morrison was a lot like Mike Tyson. He was a big-time heavy hitter too. But just like Mike, he would get tired in the higher rounds, but he was still dangerous. His record's 48-3-1. 42 of those 48 wins were KOs. What a fucking monster. He beats guys like George Foreman, Lorenzo Boyd, Donovan Ruddock, and a shit ton more. This has nothing to do with real fighting, but Tommy played in Rocky 5. Most say that that movie was bad and his acting was bad, but I disagree. I liked the movie and thought his acting was pretty good. And the end fight with Rocky and Tommy was the best Rocky movie fight in my opinion. Anyway, Tommy's my number 4. My number 3 is Don the Predator Frye. He has a good blend of boxing and wrestling. His record was 20 wins and 9 losses, 1 draw, and 1 no contest. Not a bad record. He was fighting way back in the early days of MMA in the 90s. He won UFC 8 and the Ultimate tournaments, and he beat guys like Mark Hall, Tank Abbott, and Gary Goodridge, and these guys were a big deal back then. Anyway, Don Frye is another entertaining fighter to watch, and is a legend. Anyway, Don Frye is my number 3. My number 2 is Rory MacDonald. He was supposed to be the next GSP. He had a mixture of good grappling and striking and a ridiculous chin. Just watch both fights with Robbie Lawler. Bloody wars is what they were. His record is 23 wins, 10 losses, and 1 draw. Not bad. I think Rory should be in the UFC Hall of Fame because of the Lawler fights and how easily he was able to ragdoll Nate Diaz. Go watch that fight if you didn't see it. Crazy to see Nate get manhandled like that. Anyway, I hope Rory is in UFC 5. He's my number 2 pick. My number 1 pick is Randy the Natural Couture. He's a pioneer of the sport that helped make MMA go mainstream. He had fights with other legends like Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz, and he has a blend of boxing and wrestling, but his wrestling is definitely his strong suit. His record is 19-11-0. Not that great of a record, but he fought and beat some high-level competition like Mark Coleman, Chuck Liddell, Vitor Belfort, and he also beat Tim Sylvia for the UFC Heavyweight Championship at age 43, which is insane. He deserves his spot in the UFC Hall of Fame. MMA wouldn't be the same without Randy Couture. Hopefully he's in UFC 5. Randy Couture is my number one pick. Okay, guys, that was my list of the guys that I hope that are going to be in UFC 5. I really hope they put different legends from 4. I hope they don't just copy and paste the roster because that would be really shitty. Anyways, guys, let me know who you want in UFC 5, and thanks for watching. This has been Miller Massacre 19. Have a good day.